What's up, boys? We're back in person. A little throwback episodes.
In person, baby.
So this is how we did it. Like the first month or so. We
Dude,
started in March.
honestly,
When did you move to Virginia?
May. So first 2 months,
All in person.
all in person, and a lot less mic, like worse mics. I think the cheapest one I could find. So
Now we're
come
double
on.
mic'd up. We got Mike and Mike sitting here. One mic for the YouTube, one mic for the podcast.
Sitting here looking at us in person like this, just straight up. But no, man, it's it's humbling to come back to your roots, dude. All in person. It feels good. Got New York everywhere. Feels good. Have Jeter behind us. Got Dale up there at the top. I don't know if you'll see that, but it's a good feeling, man.
I'm gonna have to get like a recess light and just sit it right on top of Dale. That way he's like
Yeah, get like a spotlight.
almost like a halo.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he's up there.
You want to? No, never mind. It'll cost you much. I was gonna say you can grab it. We'll post
Hold
it.
him.
We'll post a pic. It's sick. It's must see. Unopened.
Yeah,
Probably worth what? About 100 grand.
easy 500 grand.
I think that's if you're being nice.
That would be on discount.
Yeah, for sure. That'd be like to a friend.
That's the friend family price. But
Heck yeah.
we I guess this would kind of be like a year in review. We started in March. Yeah, talking about the tournament. We really were scared to death to even get behind the mic.
Yeah, it was tough. I was honestly pretty scared to like put myself out there.
Yeah.
It was but we did it. We were just like, hey, we've talked about doing a pod for, I don't know, man, probably since pods became a thing. Like, I mean, really since like probably 2018, I think we said we'd start a podcast, and then 2022 we did it. Came a long way.
Yeah, maybe we're getting better at this. We're probably not, but it feels like we're getting a little better.
I feel more comfortable coming in front of you guys because y'all are judgmental. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like being in front of any kind of crowd. You know what I mean? You just want to be your best, and it's hard. It's hard to perform every time. But I feel like we do. We bring our A game every time. So, I know a lot of fans get at me for my takes, but that's part of it, and I'm here for it.
So we opened up, take messages or questions, whatever y'all wanted to talk about. So we can just go ahead and dive into that.
Dude, let's get into it.
We got first question. Pretty just open-ended question. NIL talk.
Okay.
How do you feel like NIL has changed college football?
I think I said it before the season. I said it. I'll say it again. I think NIL is will be the biggest, I guess, influencer on like parity in football. I think this year's a good example. Which I mean, I guess we only really have one newcomer to the playoffs. So
TCU?
yeah, TCU. I don't think they've ever been.
But
I think
not
they've been
having Alabama and
left
Clemson.
out. Yeah, I mean that's probably the biggest like leveler. Because I mean they were up there all year, but big losses kind of ruined it for them, I guess. But no, I feel like as a whole, even there's no dominant team. Georgia. It's easy to say Georgia's a dominant team, but I feel like they've definitely shown their weaknesses. Because I've thought about it a lot. I know I talk a lot of smack about Georgia being asleep at the wheel, but I've thought about it as a competitor. I feel like when you play once a week, it's hard to fall asleep. I feel like those were legitimate struggles, and it is hard to win on the road in the SEC. They never struggle at home. It's always on the road. And I feel like that's a legitimate thing that Kirby's talking about. It's tough to win on the road in the SEC, and I fully back that. But I think that that NIL has changed the game forever. I don't think it'll ever be the same. I think it'll always be one of those things where it's always a factor in recruiting, transfers. It'll be like a salary cap in baseball. You look at the teams in the World Series, and they're going to have a top, spendage.
Payroll
in the league. Yeah, payroll of the year.
Yeah, because and I think a lot of people initially thought that NIL would be like, okay, well now the rich teams like Texas A&M, and Alabama, and USC, and teams with a lot of money, Michigan, teams like that, they'll just be able to go buy everybody they want. And we've seen quickly that that's just not how it is.
No.
Because like you can't just fork out millions and millions to these players. Like it really is a level playing field.
Yeah,
where
for
these
sure.
small schools can go and fork out money for one guy, and that'd be your quarterback for like 3 years.
Yep.
And you can compete in those 3 years and then go get another one the next time.
Yep.
Whereas like Alabama is going to have to get money for Bryce. This year he was one of the top 5 paid guys, and now he's going to the pros, and then they'll have to pay again next year to get somebody else.
Yep.
So I think NIL is one of the best things that's happened to college football. I know a lot of old heads hate it and think it's ruining the game, but like money talks everywhere.
Yeah.
Like everybody, I know one of the big conflicts is everybody saying, well, it's going to break up locker rooms whenever the quarterback's getting paid $3 million and the offensive linemen are getting paid in cheeseburgers. And it's like, watch an NFL game. The NFL has been going on for 100 years. It's been like that forever. Like every sport, the top dog gets paid, the role players don't.
Yep.
And it is what it is. They're all making money now, though. To whereas before the quarterback wasn't making anything, and the offensive linemen weren't making anything. That doesn't necessarily make it like a fair level playing field. It just means all of them were poor. To where now all of them have a little more chunk in the change, because I can guarantee you, even those offensive linemen, they're getting something.
Yeah, they're feeling. I mean, they're definitely they're not going to bed thinking where they're any.
Yeah, they're not scarfing down ramen noodles like they were 2 years ago.
No, not at
everybody's eating from this.
Not at all. And if anything, if you have a good leader in the locker room that is making that NIL money, they're going to be taking care of their guys that aren't getting paid. You know what I mean?
100%.
Especially if it's a quarterback, their offensive line is going to be taken care of. I don't care if it's the starters or the subs; they're all taken care of. I think that I truly believe that. And if it's not, it's probably a him problem. It's not a NIL problem. It's that guy's a selfish kind of guy problem. I don't think. I think if you have a good leader, it's going to kind of roll downhill to even the low guys being taken care of in some kind of way. And you hear stories about like that. Like I think C.J. Stroud did something for the whole team. I think he went and got them suits or something. Or it was somebody like that bought the whole team, got the whole team Men's Warehouse gift cards or something like that paid for a suit.
We saw the running back from Michigan buying turkeys and passing them out on Thanksgiving Day. So it's like you give these kids the money and just give them the chance to do good with it, instead of just all of the colleges is who had the money before this pretty much.
Yeah.
I know technically this money comes from
Boosters.
Yeah, endorsements or whatever.
Right.
Boosters are paying a lot of this.
Yeah, for sure.
And before those colleges weren't doing good with the money.
Yeah. No, well, I remember a couple years back, a hurricane hit or something, or maybe it was during COVID, and Trevor Lawrence wanted to do a fundraiser or something for some charity or a community or something, and the NCAA shut it down because NCAA, the rules of you can't be gifted money, and that's
it was a stupid rule.
And it's a dumb rule. If somebody's doing something for good like that for charity, and you can't look past that as NCAA, that's a problem. And I feel like if anything, it brings more good than bad. And it's if these kids shouldn't be making money, millions and millions for these other people, and they never see it. So, I get that, places like Alabama, Auburn, these big SEC schools have very nice facilities and they get meals paid for and things like that. But at the same time, man, I feel like you should be, kind of like a profit share kind of deal. You know what I mean? If you're bringing in money, you're packing out. I'm going to Alabama games for the Alabama players, not really for any other reason. And that's what they should get money for that. You know what I mean? I don't feel like that's too outlandish.
Yeah. I mean, and the other, I remember there was a kicker or a punter who was just a mid-tier kicker, punter, college football.
Yeah.
And he had a YouTube channel, was making money off that. And they basically, the NCAA told him, either shut down your YouTube channel or quit.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, this is putting food on my table and you're not. So he quit. Yep. Just mid-season because he couldn't do both, and that just doesn't make any sense.
No.
Why you should get in the way of somebody else making money off of their own name or their own skills.
Yeah, yeah, I'm with that for sure.
These were from Wes Crawford, by the way, so shout out to Wes.
Shout out Wes.
The boy. how bad Mel Kiper's mock draft is. Now, hand up. I haven't looked at Mel Kiper's mock draft.
Should we pull it up?
We can pull it up.
Let me read my phone.
I'll start with all the mock drafts, though, it's an abomination what Will Levis is doing to these people.
Yeah.
Like being 6'4", 240, whatever he is, being able to throw when there's no defense around, when you're in 7-on-7 with no pads, that doesn't impress me.
No.
I've got a list. We'll go a 3-man list. I'm going to put you on the spot. Would you rather have Will Levis or Baker Mayfield if you're an NFL team?
Ooh. Out of college?
Right now.
Oh, right now, Baker Mayfield.
Will Levis or Matt Corral?
Matt Corral.
Will Levis or Jarrett Stidham?
I don't know. Belichick saw something in Jarrett Stidham. You know what I mean? At one point. How often does he miss?
A lot.
See, I feel like he doesn't miss that much.
I feel like he's a horrible drafter. To me, Will Levis and Jarrett Stidham are basically the same guy.
I would take Will Levis because you don't know yet. Well, you know
Yeah.
what you get with Jarrett Stidham. But, I mean,
It's bad
does
if
Jarrett
there's
Stidham even dress out for a team? That's the question.
he
I
doesn't.
don't think he does.
And there's a debate there to be had. Who was the better quarterback, Will Levis or Jarrett Stidham? I tried finding Mel Kiper's.
Well, Will Levis hasn't thrown over 200 yards in the SEC this year. In the East.
in a game.
In the East. Not the West. That has the dog defenses year in, year out. The East, bro.
I don't get it because it was last year when I took Kentucky's under. Majority of that was because the hype was around Will Levis, and I was like, I know this guy isn't good. He threw for like over 120 yards, 150 yards one time last year. Not the year that just happened, but like 2021.
Right.
He's only led the SEC in one category: interceptions. Like you have to just watch these guys play.
Dude, they cannot get over him not taking a snap and throwing it 50 yards with no pads on. That's my biggest thing. Put these dudes in pads with like 7-on-7 on the combine. Let's see everybody flex their skills on 7-on-7. That's like the biggest for skill guys. That is like the biggest showcase, I guess, of your skills. Is 1-on-1, 7-on-7. Quarterbacks can see how they can throw it. Everybody else, doing their thing, running routes, catching the ball, coverage, man-on-man zone, doesn't matter. Like, why not? I get injuries maybe, but like they're also running 40s and running routes on the air and stuff like that. Why not just go 1-on-1? Like the defensive or the linemen are in there doing 1-on-1 drills with no pads. Why can't these dudes run routes on each other?
Yeah, I mean it's a fair point because it's got to be so easy if you have that arm talent to just go do it. I think of a guy like Ryan Mallett who could just air it out, and everybody loved him, and it was like, but he wasn't any good.
No.
Will Levis is an average quarterback.
All right, I got it pulled up now. I think Mel Kiper's named on 25 highest rated prospects out of college.
Okay.
So
Number one.
I would assume this is similar to the draft board.
I'm going to invest with you. Number one, it's either I'm going to go Will Anderson.
He's got Will Anderson.
Number two is going to be I can't think of the defensive lineman from Georgia.
You're wrong. Bryce Young.
Okay, so 3 is going to be C.J. Stroud.
3 to C.J. Stroud.
4,
Jalen Carter.
5. Is it an offensive lineman?
It's a wide receiver.
It ain't Smith and Jigba?
It is Smith and Jigba. Number 6. It's a defensive tackle. Think about defensive lines. Good defensive lines. I don't expect you to know this guy's name.
One of the guys from Clemson?
Yeah. Brian Breezy.
That's the guy, his sister passed away mid-year.
Yep.
Breezy, the white guy.
Number 7. This is out of left field. This is where Mel Kiper said, I want to be different. This is probably the guy who won first team tight end undeservingly.
If it's not Brock Bowers, I don't want to hear it.
It's not Brock Bowers. His name is Michael Mayer. I just want to see what he says about this guy. That's terrible. Number 8. This is out of left field. This is him saying, "I'm stuck in 2020."
What position is it?
Cornerback.
Stuck in 2020?
He's stuck in 2020.
Is it one of the Alabama
this
guys?
guy was a freshman All-American.
From Alabama?
Transferred to Alabama.
Ricks.
Eli Ricks at number 8. I don't even
Look.
know if he's declared for the draft.
Eli Ricks. This is my one statement about Eli Ricks. He's a fake tough guy, first off. Second off, he left LSU, they got better. He got to Alabama, they got worse. It's all on him.
He really didn't play any of the big games, though. The only big game he played in was LSU. He was hurt. He was hurt all year.
Eli Ricks, that's way too high.
My opinion, if Eli Ricks plays the Tennessee game, they don't lose. Alabama doesn't lose. They give up 50 less passing yards than they win.
I mean, you just had him on the last drive.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we need somebody competent somewhere in that game, and he's at least competent. He can tackle and he can cover.
That's still
He's
way too high.
6'2". No, it's way too high. That's what I'm saying. He's stuck. He's stuck looking at freshman tape from a bubble. Number 8, Kayshon Boutte. I don't even know if he's transferring. I'm pretty sure he's staying. Number 10, Bijan Robinson. I feel like that's kind of low, even though he's a running back. Like,
Skill-wise,
if
he's top.
if you're just ranking the dudes, like
overall,
and I feel like that's what this is.
he's a top 5 guy.
Yeah,
It's
for
probably
sure.
Anderson, Stroud, or Young, and then probably him. Or Jordan Addison is who I haven't heard yet. That Jordan Addison's got to be up there. Number 9.
You're going to be really upset. Number 11 is offensive tackle from Northwestern, Peter
Yeah,
Skamskowinski.
they always do that.
Number 12.
Will Levis. Bo Nix.
What is the date on this? May 31st. Okay, this makes sense.
Okay, never mind.
Cancel everything.
Disregard everything we've talked about.
November 3rd. Here we go. Updated. It's a little different. Number 1, Will Anderson. Number 2, Jalen Carter. Number 3, C.J. Stroud. Number 4, Will Levis. Number 5, Bryce Young. Number 6, Peter Skamskowinski from Northwestern. Number 7, Bijan Robinson. Number 8, Michael Mayer. Number 9, Paris Johnson Jr., offensive tackle from Ohio State. Number 10, Jordan Addison from USC. Number 11, Miles Murphy. Number 12, Brian Breezy. Whatever. Jalen Hines, number 13. Joey Porter Jr., cornerback from Penn State's number 14. Tyree Wilson, defensive end from Texas Tech. And that's the top 15.
So I know why Wes sent this in now. Will Levis being ranked above Bryce Young is a travesty. And I know what it is. Because it's when you talk about like showcase guys, Bryce Young is not that.
No.
He doesn't have just the electric arm. He's not he's not big. He's not gonna have huge hands. Like he's gonna have little hands. He's gonna be undersized. He's not gonna have a rocket for an arm.
Yep.
And Will Levis has all of those things. And for some reason, they put more stock into that. What you look like in shorts and a t-shirt, though, and then watching to where Bryce Young doesn't necessarily like jump out at you when you just watch his arm.
Yeah.
But there's something that you can't put on paper. Bryce Young does in the pocket to where he's almost untouchable.
He's crazy. I don't know what it is. And he's a little dude.
Yeah.
He's like our size.
And he's really not that fast.
No, he's not that fast.
He's just so quick.
He's
and
just
shifty.
so unpredictable with his movements. Like, you just don't know. And then he can just get rid of the ball really quick. It's a quick release.
Yes.
But he didn't even... I never said his name. He didn't make this. He didn't make the top 25.
Who?
Bryce Young.
Yeah, he was after Levis. I think he was 4th
Oh, no, it just wasn't highlighted
or
yet.
5th.
It wasn't highlighted. Yeah. Easy miss. I just want to put that on.
Oh,
record.
yeah.
Easy miss. That's not highlighted.
See, I
The
see why.
disrespect. Will Anderson as well. But yeah, no, so yeah. Will Levis, I don't know, man. I feel like if you're any kind of good, if you look at, so this might be an argument people have is like dudes like, Matt Ryan went to Boston College, Ben Roethlisberger went to
Miami, Ohio.
Miami, Ohio. There's another small. Carson Wentz went to North Dakota State. But you look at their stats; they have great stats. Phenomenal stats.
And they led their teams. Like, Carson Wentz led their team to...
I think multiple national championships.
Matt Ryan had Boston College in the mix.
Yeah.
Like, in the championship mix.
Boston College.
Yeah, they haven't been relevant since then.
And
or before then.
Will Levis is at an SEC school on, I would say, the easier side of the SEC.
Minus Georgia.
Through and through. Yeah, I mean,
Top
we'll say top-heavy side. I feel like the other side is very balanced. And
with one of the best coaches in the SEC that nobody talks about.
Facts. And he can't throw over 200 yards. 200 yards is not that much.
It's not.
In the passing game, especially in college. I mean, if you throw under 200 yards in the NFL, that's still not great. In college, it's even worse. So, I don't know, man. Like, I think that that's a big whiff. I'm glad other people see it coming as well, too, because I don't think that's a very good pick.
His last question was thoughts on Fights at a Wedding. I wouldn't recommend it. I don't know what this is about.
I wouldn't recommend that either, man. I've heard some stories of some wedding fights. I feel like it's extremely disrespectful. Sucker punches, especially. It's not just disrespectful to the guy that you sucker punch, but just everybody there. It's almost like, why were you even invited? Who are you? Kind of deal. It's just if you that's just a scumbag move. Kind of a narcissistic. I'm going to make everything about me. Why is the attention not on me? I'm a little baby kind of move.
Yeah, it's like the ultimate wedding crasher.
Yeah, but like not in a good, funny way, like the movie.
In a bad way.
In a bad way. And when Sonic did like the chocolate jalapeno milkshake kind of bad way, like just awful. Oh. Why would you do that? That's a real thing. I remember that.
For some reason, when you said Sonic, my mind went to Sonic the Hedgehog.
Well, yeah, I mean that you could use that as well. The original drawing of the in-person Sonic. You know what I mean? Sonic the Hedgehog was terrible. They had to change it. They had to redo the movie.
I'm trying to think of something that's just really bad. I would probably say sucker punching somebody to wedding.
Yeah, I feel like that's pretty bad.
That'd be 1-1.
Probably on that level. Taking Will Levis above anybody.
Yeah, drafting Will Levis in the top 5.
You think the Jets do it? I've seen a lot of people say like
Jets have got White Mike.
Like the Jets looking at it's like that picture the guy walking with like his girlfriend and
oh yeah, turn around like Zach Wilson and Will Levis. We'll go to our next one. Came from Marcus. He said best baseball memory from high school, and then for Cole, best football memory from high school. I will let you do both years, and then I'll do mine. Actually, you do best football, and then I'll do baseball, then you do baseball.
Okay, that works. Best football memory, there's a lot of them. The one that first came to mind was we played, it was my sophomore year, mine and Marcus's sophomore year. We played Bibb County on the road. Bibb County is a notorious good football school. We go there on the road. It's our first year in 5A, I think, and we were down 25-0 at halftime, and we unleashed this new offense. It's not new to football, but it was new to us. We called it 2-ball. I don't really know what you call it, but you have like your 3 linemen around the ball, and then you have your quarterback, and then you have everybody else off to the side. Like that, you have like 2 linemen on that side with receivers, and then on the like 1 receiver on the other side. And you can just run a bunch of different crazy stuff. And when you have Blake Bird, I mean, anything's possible. We stuck. They scored 25 in the first half, and they don't score again the rest of the game, and we beat them. And I want to say they were like ranked in the state or whatever according to the newspapers. We don't read the clippings. You know what I mean? We got that dog in us, but
all rat poison.
That's all rat poison. But yeah, we came back and won that one. That was a big one. I would have to say that's probably the biggest, man. I swear, I hate to flex, but I started for 3 years, but I only scored 1 touchdown. That 1 touchdown was electric, though, man. It was also against Bibb County, but it was at home. We were getting smoked, and I scored a tutty. But I think that's we played against some good players, dude. We played against Quentin Williams.
I remember that.
At Winona, we played against Darius Stewart. At Fulton Dale, we played against Ronnie Clark. He went to Alabama. He played at Calera. Man, I feel like there's somebody else that I'm missing. Oh, we played against the when we played Dadeville and we set the record for getting the worst loss in playoff history. We played against the Jeffrey brothers that went to Alabama. I think they were both there. I think Alshon and Jeffrey. I think they both play in the NFL.
Oof.
Yeah, pretty rough. But yeah, no. Out of all those big L's, that win at Bibb County was pretty big.
It's at least like a memorable one. You're like, yeah, we lost really bad, but two of the guys are in the NFL. So
I mean, yeah, I feel like it's okay.
it is what it is.
I feel like it's okay.
We kind of touched on this earlier before we started recording, just like baseball memories. Mine, we had a handful.
Yeah,
Hitting the go-ahead hit against Madison Academy with Sadie Robertson in
That's big.
the stands was pretty cool for me. Shout out Sadie if you're listening.
Shout out.
I'm married now, but you know,
Be respectable, but
yeah,
also respect it.
right. See,
It's tough, man. We had a lot of good baseball memories. We were pretty good.
I would honestly say it'll be a mix of two, just mainly Dora.
Yeah, anything is.
So Dora, our junior year, beat us 1 out of 3 games. Somehow still got in the playoffs over us. Over technicality, doesn't make sense. And basically our senior year, we came out and basically said,
Just
it's a wrap. You've got no chance. And we beat them by like 100, probably.
Yeah, I almost hit for the cycle.
Yeah, you missed a home run by 3 inches.
Probably an inch.
Yeah, you hit the yellow on that. So.
Yeah.
But honestly, my favorite would probably be my junior year, making the diving catch. That was probably one of the best plays I've ever made. And then, or diving catch against Pleasant Grove in the playoffs
Yeah.
with a bunch of people there. That's one of those. I don't know if I could pin it to just one.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. We had a lot of big wins. I remember, for me, hitting a home run is pretty big. I wasn't a home run hitter. I feel like I was a very good hitter, but I wasn't a home run hitter.
And our field was huge.
I hit one home run in high school. It was an area game against Pleasant Grove. That was a big one, just because we kind of had a rivalry at the time.
I was on base for that.
Yeah, me and Braylon shared a very heartwarming hug in the dugout. I cried because we talked about it a lot. And then let's see, I don't know, man. I feel like we had a lot of big games against Mortimer Jordan that were fun, like just to play in. Pretty ruthless rivalry there. I feel like every time Chase pitched against them, he dominated. But it's like I feel like we would beat them in regular season games, and then we'd play them in like the spring break tournament or something, and we'd always lose them in the championship.
That was one of the best games I've ever been part of. It was like 12-11.
It was
spring break tournament.
It was crazy.
Just back and forth haymakers.
It was crazy. And I remember playing Thorsby at home one. Like it was just like a random Tuesday, and like Thorsby came with that smoke, and they had that catcher that got drafted. I don't even remember his name, but that was crazy. Seeing playing against Jameis Winston was crazy. Seeing all the scouts there at corner.
There was 28 MLB scouts there.
Yeah, it was nuts. It was, and he didn't even pitch. He just played. He played center field. Man, I don't know.
It could be the subway trip our junior year to Dora.
Dude, yes.
When the foreigner at Subway couldn't understand me when I was trying to order a personal pizza. And I just kept telling him I want a pizza, and he kept asking me what bread.
He said, "What bread?"
And I was like, "No, I want the pizza." And Cole already can't order in public.
Dude, I have this thing, man. I have like an order anxiety, especially when I'm with people. I don't know. It's gotten better. I've gotten better at it. But yeah, I just start laughing. If I start laughing, I just can't stop, and it's like my defense mechanism. So I'm just sitting there giggling, and this guy can't understand us. And we're just trying to order a pizza.
At one point, I turned because I said it 5 or 6 times straight. And at one point, I turned and looked at Cole like, am I delusional? And then finally, a guy from the back came back, explained it, and he just said, sorry. And just
Sorry. Yeah, we got
up
it.
the pizza.
And it was great. I mean, it was a good pizza. I had a good sandwich, but it was just hilarious. It took like 5 minutes to figure it out. And yeah, no, that does top the memory banks. I'm trying to think, man. Going to the beach was fun, even though we didn't really win much. I feel like we played a lot of good teams, though.
Yeah, we did.
That was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun. Rented a whole house.
Swam. I got an ear infection while I was there.
That was not fun. Blaine breaking his arm.
Blaine broke his arm. We played wiffle ball on the beach, and I remember I got chafed up crazy. But that's just part of it. That's just, if you don't chafe up while you're at the beach or playing baseball, what are you doing? Did you even go? I say no. But yeah, no, man. But no, it's fun thinking about, especially high school baseball. We were, I think we still hold the win record at corner. First season, that's pretty cool. Pretty good senior years. Yeah, no, we had a lot of good memories playing baseball.
Marcus got us reminiscing over here.
Dang, Marcus, you're gonna make me cry.
Next one is from local Red Sox fan Chase Best. How long until Aaron Judge isn't worth his annual salary? This is just a stupid question.
He told me when he told me this question that you were going to come at him. He told me, but he was like, I want to ask it anyways.
And honestly, it really is a fair question. But these, in the last 2 years, it's kind of shifted to where you have to pay guys into their bad years to get them for their prime.
Yeah.
And Aaron Judge is probably on the downhill slope of his prime, but I still think he's got 5 or 6 good years in him.
That's what I said. I said 4 or 5. I said 4 or 5 really good years.
I could see him being a solid right fielder for 4 or 5 more years, and then being a solid, best DH in baseball for 2 or 3 after that.
Yeah.
And then he's got 2 or 3 years left.
How old will he be at the end? At the end of his
39 or 40. I think he turns 31 this year, and it's a 9-year deal, so he'll be 39 or 40 whenever it ends. And Nelson Cruz is still hitting ding dongs, and he's 43.
Yeah, I mean
he's not worth $40 million, but
that's a fair point. But my only worry, and I feel like this is a worry that goes through anybody's head, just because it hasn't been done before. But a dude that big playing that long, that's my only worry. But no other dude that big's been named Aaron Judge. I feel like he is actually a freak.
Yeah, he's one of one.
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody that will ever be like him ever again. And so I feel like it's a fair concern, with GMs and fans and teammates. How long is he going to be, healthy at that size? But I don't think, I feel like if he was, he would already be kind of heading that way, and he's not. So.
And it's also to think about, 10 years ago, what did the contracts look like? 10 years from now, 8 years from now, when the best right fielder in baseball is making $65 million a year,
yeah,
and Aaron Judge is the 10th best right fielder, and he's making 40, it'll be this wasn't that bad. Everybody made fun of the Bryce Harper deal and all that, and now look, it's
not even, it's just a normal deal.
Yeah, it's an average deal at this point. So when you have an MVP type guy, Chase, you get an MVP right fielder, a guy that led you to, a World Series. Maybe. This is just hypothetical. Led you to a World Series. You have to keep that guy.
Yeah,
you got to give him the bag.
You do have to keep that guy.
He has to retire. I even said, I don't care if we overpay for him. Mostly because that money does not come out of my pocket at all. I don't care how much they paid for him. I couldn't stomach to see him play for another team. That would have hurt. He was drafted by the Yankees. He was brought up from the Yankees. He is the captain.
Yeah. No, I think he's he's not Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter's Derek Jeter, and that's it. But, he's this generation's Derek Jeter.
Yeah, 100%.
A-Rod kind of guy, which I mean, not even A-Rod, because A-Rod wasn't just a Yankee, but Aaron Judge is just a Yankee.
Yeah. I mean, they're really the only guy you can compare him to is Jeter.
Yeah.
Even though skill-wise, I think Jeter's, a more consistent, better player, but
Yeah.
a guy that just does everything the right way, says all the right things.
He's not ever in trouble. Like,
He's a Yankee through and through.
Yeah, you don't see him like out doing stuff. You know what I mean? Like, and if there's anywhere that you're gonna get in trouble for out doing stuff, it's New York. Like everybody, you have eyes on you 24/7, and he's doing it the right way. He's going about it the right way, like the captain. So that's really all you can ask from a guy you're paying that much.
Yeah. His other question: since LSU had 500 yards passing on Georgia, can Ohio State give Georgia problems with the passing game?
I think potentially yes, but I think the 500 yards is a little different because of the situation of the game. Because Georgia was, I don't want to say given, because they put themselves in the opportunity for the two easy kind of touchdowns, the fumble return, and then the
blocked
field goal. Blocked field goal. You don't, if you're not good at defense, you're not in those situations. But at the same time, those were very fortunate bounces, I would say. It was a pick six that bounced off his head. That's what it was. So with that happening, you have to throw the ball. You can't run the ball. You can't run the clock, especially against Georgia. Like, Brock Bowers will put it on you in a hurry. So I think that's part of the reason that they threw so much, but they still threw for 500 yards and like they knew they were going to throw it. So I think potentially, yes. I think there could potentially be a good matchup for Ohio State if they can keep C.J. Stroud off the ground and in the pocket making good throws. If they cannot block Georgia's stunts that they do, I mean, they can bring 4 and make it feel like 6.
Yep.
And that's what they're the best at. And if you don't think a month is going to change that to where like Ohio State can pick it up, like you're wrong. Like Kirby Smart is in there working, buddy. Like he's figuring this out. He's gonna know what weakness. He's gonna know what that Ohio State guy doesn't like, and he's gonna bring it at him every single time until he stops it. And I think potentially, yes, I think potentially C.J. Stroud could have the potential to shred them, but it would have to be a remarkable performance from the whole offensive crew, not just the players, like the coaches, the analysts. Like it's going to take everybody.
Yeah, I think they do have a chance to give them problems with the passing game, and just because all the weapons they have, like Marvin Harrison Jr. he's going to be the first wide receiver taken next year.
Yeah,
and I mean he'll probably be like a top 5 pick next year. That's how much better he is than everyone else, and they won't have Travion Henderson. So the ground game won't be as, they're not going to go to the ground game that much. Going on I think they might even be on like their 3rd string running back. But C.J. Stroud is great.
Yeah.
And they are a great offense. They've scored like 40 a game pretty much every game but the Michigan one. And I still don't think that really changes much on how I feel about the game though.
No, I don't think so at all. I still think it'll be a lot like the LSU game. Like, I think Georgia's going to be able to do whatever they want offensively, even though, like, I don't think very much of Stetson Bennett. I'll say that for the next 50 years. But I think what's around Stetson Bennett is absolutely elite. So, and Stetson Bennett does his job well. He does his job probably better than anybody else would. I wish he would stop dropping mics at the age of 25. No 25-year-old should do that ever. I've never dropped a mic. I'm 25. I've been out of college for 3 years now. He's still in college, and we're the same age. But I don't drop mics, so I don't think he should as well. I think that's pretty embarrassing, at your age.
I think Stetson Bennett's biggest problem is he literally did not care this year. Like, I think they played 3 games against top 25 teams or top 15 teams, and he went like 13 touchdowns, 1 interception. And against every other game, he had like 7 touchdowns total. So like he literally was like, I'm going to show up when I need to, and if I don't have to show up, I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Like it honestly felt like this was just a season where he was like, I already know, we've already done this before. Like I know where to pick my spots and really play, and that could be dangerous for Ohio State.
I mean, it could make sense because I feel like personally, especially with the kind of coach that Kirby Smart is, he trains, especially his defensive guys, to kill. Like,
Yeah.
that's all they know. That when he was at Alabama, that's all they knew. There was never really letdowns. Like they came to murder. That was their thing. And Stetson Bennett is not that kind of guy. Like I feel like, you know what I mean. He probably plays with a chip on his shoulder, but like he probably is like Missouri.
Yeah.
We got this.
Who cares? Kent State.
Come on, bro.
Not worried about it.
Hey, we got this, Brock. Me and you, bro. And then I could see that. I mean, I feel like that could be him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's getting too cocky. Because sometimes, dude, he acts like he's just a freaking gunslinger, and he is the opposite. But he does. He carries himself that way. I mean, I can't knock him for it. I mean, I would be the same way. But I mean, not as I wouldn't look like a twerp doing it. I'd look cool. But yeah. I mean, I feel like Ohio State's in a good spot though because they haven't played in like a month, and the last time they played, they got embarrassed at home. And they're going to hear, they probably have it everywhere that they're soft, like all the press clippings, all the rat poison, like they're soft, they're terrible, they're overrated. I mean, you can't, if you're any kind of competitor, because they got the dudes, if you're any kind of competitor, you're going to take that so personal and work so hard. I feel like they have a good shot. I feel like they're in a good spot for an upset. Will that happen? I don't know. But I feel like it is notable only like once or twice the number one team has won. I think it's once.
I think it is too. LSU, I think, so did it.
Yeah. And so, well, was Alabama won in 2020?
I don't remember. They went undefeated, didn't they?
Yeah.
So they might have been. So it might have been the second time.
It might be two. But that, I mean, but yeah, no, that, I mean, I feel like that is notable. I mean, we've almost played 10 years of the playoff. And it's only happened twice. And one was in a bubble.
Yeah. But at the same time, I still think Georgia's offense will score more on Ohio State's defense. I trust Georgia's defense to get more stops against Ohio State than I do Ohio State to get more stops.
Facts.
Like, I don't think Ohio State will stop Georgia at all.
No,
especially third and fourth quarter because
with the white dude out, Hingle McCringleberry, what's his name? McCringle something. McCronkle?
The Hunter Renfrow guy.
84. Little guy.
Yeah.
I think his name's Hingle McCringleberry. I don't
sound right.
I think he's out though. I think he hurt his knee in the SEC championship. If he's out, I still don't think.
No, I don't think it.
Because at some point you have to throw it to Brock Bowers. At some point Brock Bowers is going to say, "Hey, bro, I'm open 125% of the time," and you're going to throw it to him.
And by the
who's guarding him?
Like the third and fourth quarter when Georgia has just punched you in the mouth over and over, like can your second or third string guys make a play on Brock Bowers?
No.
And the answer is no.
Nobody can.
Now we get into some weird ones. If you a car in the Cards universe, what would you be?
If you're a car.
Oh, if you're a car.
If you're a car in the Cards universe, what kind of car would you be?
Like I can pick any car?
Yeah, what car would you be? If you're you in the Cards universe, what kind of car would you be?
I would love to be a Ford Ranger.
I like that.
If I come back as a truck, I want to be a 98 Ford Ranger.
See, I'm glad you went that direction because I think of myself as a 2007 single cab Chevy Silverado. White.
Okay. How many stickers would you have? Because have you ever looked at Chick Hicks' car? Loaded
yeah, but I'm not
to
a
the
racer though. I'm not a racer.
Okay, so you would just be.
I'm just one of those bots running around. You know what I mean?
Okay, you're just a backup character.
Yeah, I'm just a backup character. I'm not a main character.
I'd be fine with that.
I'm just a single cab Chevy Silverado. I probably watch, the Piston Cup. You know what I mean? Like I'm probably going to the local race, whatever. I'm sure it's still called Talladega. Probably going to Talladega. I'd probably be a 4-wheel drive so I don't get stuck. Because the 2007 single cab Chevy Silverado I have right now will probably get stuck in wet grass. So, got a V6 in it. but it's just rear wheel drive. It's got a lot of juice, not a lot of weight, so I get stuck pretty easy. Kind of just more of a glide. You know what I mean? Like I don't even mess the grass up.
You just
When I get stuck, I'm just spinning on top.
there's not even enough weight to get in.
Yeah, I just don't get traction. I'm just spinning on top. I'm just combing the grass with my tires.
All right, I need you to be open and honest with this one. Cringe moments as a kid. Because I have one, I still have nightmares about it.
It's really not. It's just like a whole year, kind of. Before I remember the phone that I got that had my first front camera, but before I had a front camera, but it was still a smartphone, so I had Snapchat on my phone. I had to turn my phone around and take selfies. You know what I mean? Trying to hit the game. You know what I mean? Kind of like this.
Yeah.
And it just was awful.
That'd be a grizzly bear.
It was just terrible. That's pretty cringe thinking that I used to do that. And then mirror selfies as well. Are pretty bad.
So that don't bother me. That was just kind of the fad.
I mean, it was like the times, but like looking back, I just feel like I should have known better. Sometimes you have to go against the grain, and I guess I just didn't have the guts to do it at that point.
Nobody does at that age.
I was still kind of soft. But I rocked a New York Yankees hat like nobody else. There's only one dude that rocked it like me, and that was 50 Cent. 50 Cent, buddy.
I've always said you did look just like 50 Cent.
I mean, I even had the buzz cut back then, too. Like, I kind of knew what I was doing with the polos and, like, blue jeans. Dude, I was rocking it. But, you know what I mean? I'm bald now, so I got to rock the buzz cut. So, it is what it is.
Yeah, I pooped my pants in kindergarten.
Didn't everybody, though?
I hope they did.
I feel like everybody has.
I hope me talking about this allows more people to reach out and say they did it too, because I still have nightmares about this.
I'm pretty, I don't know if I ever did it at school. I don't know, man. I got like I feel like they call it something where you forget stuff when you're a kid. Maybe it's just time passing, but I feel like there's some kind of psychological, like word for it. Like baby amnesia, I think is what they call it. But maybe that's just when you're a baby. But anyways, I'm pretty sure I'll probably poop my pants at school at some point. At least at that age, for sure.
I did it, and I just don't like pooping in public.
Yeah.
Even now, I've had to get over it. And I will hold it until I get home, and I just love pooping in the comfort of my own home.
Home bowl.
Yeah, it's the home bowl. It's the home turf.
There's nothing like a home bowl.
There's no outside, like, the game is played the same at my home bowl every time.
Yeah.
I know what to expect.
Yeah.
But, like, you throw in, somebody walking in, like, at the local Arby's and just letting it rip beside you, might throw you off your game. So I've always just been a home bowl guy, and in kindergarten, I just held it and just, I guess, had bubble guts that day, and it just came out. And Miss Shannon had said something about it stinking, and I just denied. And she finally grabs me and brought me out the hallway and checked my little 5-year-old butt, and then sent me to the office. And then I was sitting in the office when, I guess I was waiting on some underwear to come in. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Or somebody come pick me up or something. And then they realized I was still sitting in my poopy butt. So then they were like, why would you go to the bathroom and just like throw away the underwear, clean yourself up, and then come back? That's what I ended up doing. I don't remember if I went home or if somebody brought me some new underwear. I might have just went old natural for the rest of the day. And that would have been disgusting. So hopefully I didn't do that. But yeah, I was still, Miss Shannon, I'm terribly sorry. You signed up to be a teacher. You did not sign up to sniff 5-year-old butts. So hopefully you forgive me for that. Hopefully you're still rocking. Hopefully you're listening.
Yeah, I hope, man, I wouldn't beat yourself up over that. I feel like that's an everyday thing. I really do.
I've came to cope with it.
I think 90% of kids probably deal with that. I think that 10%, probably have some issues today. You know what I mean? Like they never went through that embarrassment. They're probably some like kind of narcissist kind of person. So I think we're fine. I think we're good.
I've only done it one other time. I was in like 6th grade and I was getting ready, and I sharted.
The worst. I've done that a couple times.
I just had a bad poot and I let it eat.
Oh man.
Then it was just running down my leg. So
I've done that a couple times. Dude, there was one time. I don't know if I should share this. We're playing hide and seek in the visitors locker room, and you know what I mean.
In middle school?
And in the no, in high school.
Oh, at the new school?
Yeah, and the big lockers I got stuck in. I couldn't get my knee out. I couldn't stop laughing at the same time. You know what I mean? These little peekaboo. You know what I mean? And it was rough. It was rough, but luckily I was in my gym clothes. I had a full change of clothes, shower right there. So
Yeah.
shout out to the taxpayers for our new school and cool locker rooms, because I wasn't paying taxes then. So
You still don't pay your taxes, do you?
I don't know. Can I plead the fifth on the CMB?
Yeah. I'll let you go with
I
it.
appreciate that. We'll see. I don't know, man. I don't know if I ever got my receipt from TurboTax. I attempted. That's all we need to know. Okay. Moving on.
I think that's all we got. What was your favorite episode this year?
Dude, favorite episode.
We'll close it with that. It's running right at 50 minutes. Ain't that bad.
Dude, I don't know, man. There's so many. Favorite episode. Yeah, I think all of the Gamblers Corners were my favorite. I think all of them, especially the first one. The first one we just I think we texted each other on a Friday and we were like, dude, let's get it. And we just got it. And I know it was viewed a lot, but I want to say when we were doing the Gamblers, I think I made close to like $250 over a couple weeks. Like, I'm not a big bettor. Like, you know what I mean? Like, where I'm at, it's legal for all you narcs. I think that I'm like a 5-unit guy. Like, I'm 10 unit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not big. I'm not trying to throw a bunch of money around, but I think I made like $250 because we'd get on there. We'd talk about our bets and we'd say like, "Ooh, I don't like that one," or "Ooh, yeah, that one's a good one."
Yeah.
And we'd roll with it, and I made a bunch of money.
Yeah, nobody wants to live in a trash can. Like, who cares if you're putting $1 on it? Like, yeah, I'd rather you lose $10 than lose a 10 grand.
Right? Yeah,
So-
for sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to make money. I'm not trying to make a living, or I'm not trying to lose a living. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm trying to just have some fun. It's cool. It's cool when you're up there in Virginia by yourself and you're just kind of chilling at the house and you can sit there and watch UCF play Louisville on a Friday night and you're just jumping around yelling. You know what I mean? Over $5,
Yeah.
and it's electric.
Yeah, I love the gambling corners. Other than that, I would say probably the GOAT draft.
Yeah, that was.
I think Blake was a very good addition to that. We were all three laughing
Yeah,
pretty hard.
that was good.
That's just the one that sticks out to me initially.
No, that one was good.
We need to get into some more gambling corners though, just because it is a ton of fun.
Dude, now that SEC, or not just SEC conference, just conference basketball in general is here next week. So I think we could get into that, especially when we start picking up on trends.
Pick your spots. Find a small conference nobody watches. Watch every team in that conference, and you can make a lot of money in college basketball.
Yeah, ESPN Plus has changed the game.
Yep. But that's all I got.
Yeah, man, I think that's all I got too, man. It's been a good one. We'll have to do this again in person. Y'all let us know. If y'all got any more questions, man, we can answer all the questions y'all got. Shoot them at, you can comment them, you can tag us on Facebook, send them to us, it doesn't matter. We definitely like fan interaction, so we'll catch you guys next time.
Love you guys.